On January 14th, Marcus Holt rode Chair 7 to the top of Ridgeline Blue, a marked trail, groomed that morning, one of the most skied runs at the entire resort. He was scanned at the top of the lift at 2:14 p.m. He never reached the bottom. There were over 400 skiers on that mountain that afternoon. Not one of them saw him fall. Not one of them saw him leave the trail. Not one of them saw anything at all. And that is the part that Ski Patrol has never been able to explain. Marcus Holt was 34 years old, a project manager from Denver. He'd been skiing since he was 7. Not an expert, not a beginner. Exactly the kind of skier who belongs on a blue run. Confident enough to enjoy it, experienced enough to handle it. He'd skied this resort 11 times before. He knew Ridgeline Blue. He'd done it dozens of times. He came alone that day, a solo trip, something he did every January. A reset, his friends called it. He'd told his girlfriend he'd be back by 7, dinner reservation at 8. He left no note, no change to his plans, no indication that anything was wrong. His phone was found in his jacket pocket, still on the mountain, battery dead. The last GPS ping it ever recorded was at 2:09 p.m., 5 minutes before he scanned onto Chair 7. That ping placed him in the lodge, getting a coffee. Everything about that morning was ordinary, which makes what happened next impossible to explain. When Marcus didn't return to the hotel by 9 p.m., his girlfriend called the resort. Ski Patrol launched a sweep of Ridgeline Blue within the hour. They found his equipment at 11:43 p.m. All of it, together, neatly grouped at the side of the trail, about 2/3 of the way down, roughly where a skier might stop to rest, look at the view, adjust their gear. No signs of a fall, no disturbed snow, no blood, no indication he'd gone off trail into the trees. Just his equipment, sitting there, like he'd set it down, and then walked away. But here is the detail that stopped investigators cold. The equipment was found 340 meters from the nearest tree line, in both directions. 340 meters of open, groomed, fully visible slope. If Marcus had walked off that trail in any direction, in ski boots, in daylight, with 400 people on the mountain, someone would have seen him. 3 days into the search, investigators got a call. A woman, a ski instructor at the resort, someone who had been working that afternoon, came forward with something she'd seen. She said at approximately 2:20 p.m., she had been riding Chair 7 back up the mountain when she looked down and saw a skier stopped on Ridgeline Blue, standing completely still, not moving, not adjusting gear, just standing there, facing the tree line. She said she thought it was strange, but didn't stop. She had students waiting at the top. When she came back down that same trail 20 minutes later, at approximately 2:40 p.m., he was gone. The equipment was still there, but the person was not. The instructor's description of the skier, jacket color, build, approximate height, matched Marcus exactly. Investigators could not explain why someone standing in the open, on a busy trail, in ski gear, had simply ceased to be there in the time it takes to ski one run. No one else reported seeing him. Not before 2:20, not after. Out of 400 skiers on that mountain, one person saw him for 20 seconds. And then he was gone. The search for Marcus Holt lasted 19 days. 112 search and rescue volunteers across 4 separate operations. 2 avalanche dogs, thermal imaging helicopter sweeps at night, ground-penetrating radar across the avalanche zones below the trail. Nothing. Not a footprint beyond the equipment site. Not a disturbance in the snowpack. Not a single fiber of clothing in the tree line they combed for 2 weeks. Avalanche was ruled out early. The snowpack that day was rated low risk, and there were no slides recorded anywhere on the mountain. A fall into a tree well was considered, but the nearest tree wells were 340 meters away. And a fall into a tree well leaves evidence. Always. The terrain below Ridgeline Blue was also fully searched. Every gully, every runoff channel, every area where a body might have come to rest. The mountain gave nothing back. Marcus Holt had simply stopped existing at a point on a busy, groomed ski run on a clear January afternoon. And 19 days of professional searching could not find a single trace of where he went. Here is the part of this story that most people don't know, because the resort never released it publicly. It came out 3 months later in a court filing, a civil case brought by Marcus's family against the resort over inadequate search procedures. In that filing, Ski Patrol's own incident report states the following: equipment recovered at site consistent with deliberate removal. Boot buckles found in open position. Both ski bindings manually released. Helmet chin strap unclipped. He took his own equipment off, deliberately, methodically, in the middle of a trail, in the middle of the afternoon. No one who has studied this case has been able to reconcile that detail with an accident. You do not unbuckle your helmet before you fall. You do not manually release your bindings before you disappear. Marcus was standing on that trail, in full control of his body, and he chose to remove his equipment. And then, he was gone. His girlfriend, now his fiancée, the ring had been purchased, found by his family in a bedside drawer, has said in interviews that this detail is the one that stays with her. He was so careful, she said, about everything. He would never leave his equipment. He loved that gear. Marcus Holt has never been found. Not in winter. Not when the snow melted that spring and summer hikers covered every meter of that mountain. Not in the 3 winters since. The trail he vanished from, Ridgeline Blue, is still open. Still groomed every morning. Still one of the most popular runs at the resort. 400 people were on that mountain the day he disappeared. One of them may have seen something they didn't think was significant. One of them may still be thinking about it. His equipment is in a storage unit in Denver. His girlfriend still pays the rent on it. She says she's not ready to let it go.